Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Iron Warrior Cosplay Q&A with me, Iron Warrior Cosplay. With me today is the absolutely fantastic Martyokcosplay. How are you doing, sir? How are you in this heat?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, very hot.
In this heat, it is unbearable. But we were lucky enough earlier to have thunder and lightning with a ton of rain. It's
All right, still dry up my way.
fantastic. It was so nice. I actually went out. We have a gazebo set for when it was hot, and I went out and sat in the middle of the gazebo, just like, just like I needed this. Honestly, it is crazy. So we have so many people in chat already. The only one and only Wubs is redeemed first. Pinkthorn missed that one this time. Second and third are still going. You guys can get those. Galactic Elephant has been here. Praise be unto him. He is now gone. Let me just have one more look. There we go. Brilliant. So, Martyokcosplay, or Martin, is it, if I'm correct in saying? It is literally Martin,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is. Yes,
How long now has it been since you started cosplaying? So, basically, how long have you been cosplaying?
I've been cosplaying. My first con, which was the first time I cosplayed, was London Film and Comic Con in summer of 2015.
Hey, nice. Nice.
So, yeah, I cosplayed the first time, and I've just kind of got hooked straight away.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie to you. My first ever con was Cardiff Film and Comic Con, and that's when I got hooked. that was just me hooked.
Yeah,
it was
I've only ever been to one con where I didn't cosplay so far, and I had cosplay MV straight away. So it's like.
I will admit, it's hard for me to remember how many cons I've not been to where I'm not cosplaying, other than the ones I do like MC stuff at, like when I'm the master of ceremonies, introducing the cosplay guests and stuff. So, basically that's where this has sort of come from. It sort of just happened. But no, by the way, your links are being shared in the chat. By the way, if you guys haven't, please go see his Instagram. Oh my god, you guys need to go see his stuff. His work is so clean. It is very, very awesome.
Oh, thanks very much.
If you guys haven't already, please go check out Martyokcosplay. He is the links are there. Thank you so much, Ranger Krieg. And the photo credit, obviously, to the banner that we did. You know, the banner that I announced my next guest and everything. The photo credit goes to Mr. Owen Lloyd. Owen Lloyd. That was a pretty awesome photo. I'm not gonna lie. Is the edit done by him as well?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Believe it or not, he doesn't normally do cosplay stuff. That was kind of his first foray into cosplay photography. He does other type of work, but he's a very talented guy.
He is pretty awesome. I will admit, I'm not gonna lie, he is pretty awesome. Especially with that image as well. When I was like scaling up in Photoshop to get it into the banner, I was like, holy shit, this thing's huge. It's like I have plenty of room. Normally, I get small ones and I have to like stretch it and work it out, but this one was just perfect. It was like done. And I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so obviously you remember your first con, but then you were telling me just now before the stream started, obviously, you're 34. You said, was it
39?
39. Sorry, my apologies. You're 39,
Yeah.
and I will admit that is literally nothing in the convention scene. Like I was saying before we started, like I know cosplayers at 60. There was a guy at Bristol the other day who's just hitting, I think he's like 70 something. He cosplays as Stan Lee as the security guard.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's so cool. So trust me, you're fine. You're fine. Long way to go. There's going to be plenty more cosplays to do. You're going to be absolutely fine. So my next question for you basically is, why do you cosplay? I know you said you went to your first con, you sort of caught the bug there, but why is it? What is your reason for cosplaying?
Well, I think I've always been a fan of the characters in comics and films. Just these kind of larger than life, amazing people, and they've got a lot of them have these sort of attributes that are very admirable that you kind of aspire to have yourself. And I think the fact you can just kind of put something on and kind of dress up like these people just for a short time. And I'm also kind of a bit of an introverted person as well, but putting on, you like, don this costume, it just kind of makes you feel powerful. And
you know what? I couldn't agree more.
Just walking around in it.
I couldn't agree more. I have a few friends of mine who are sort of, when they're out of cosplay, you know, they're very quiet. They're very within themselves. They chill out and they're nice and they're fun to hang around with. But then he gets into his like Deadpool cosplay. And he's running around the con like humping people, and it's like, what are you doing? And it's just like, this isn't you. And it's like, as soon as the mask goes on, he becomes Deadpool. Like, that's why he's like, I am Deadpool now. And then he'll run around the con just doing what Deadpool would do. And it's great to see. And as you said, it sort of kicks you out and gets you out there. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's great to see.
Yeah.
I love that.
And the other thing that it's not really why I got into cosplay, but it's kind of a perk that I've discovered later. But it's like the response you get from people, especially from kids, which is like really cute. They like think you're the actual character. I remember I was up in Edinburgh for a photo shoot dressed as Falcon, and one of the guys I was with, he was dressed as War Machine, tapped me on the shoulder and he goes, "Oh, I think you got a fan behind you, mate." And I turned around as this little boy, must have been about 4 or 5, and he had the old school Falcon, the red and white one, action figure, like, and he was just like showing me it. I was like, "Oh, it's amazing!" So I had a photo with him holding up his little Falcon action figure.
Dude,
it's just stuff great when kids run up to you and they're just so excited and made up to see these characters.
Well, I mean, I know that when I'm my Ghostbuster. I get that when I'm my Ghostbuster. That's fine. When I'm the big guy, it's the complete opposite, and they run away. The worst one is though, is like at Bristol, this guy picked up his kid, and she was like robot, and he starts walking her towards me, and then she starts like clambering on him to get away. And if I'm right in saying, my moderator is in chat, who's also my spotter when I go to events and stuff, Ranger of Krieg. If I'm right in saying, was she the one shouting like he's gonna eat me or something like that, or something crazy like that? And it was just the best reaction I wanted. I have a bolter up in the rafters over there that has tally marks on it from when I was at a convention for the amount of kids I made cry in a day. It was so amazing. Bad, so bad. It is so bad. It's something to be proud of though. But but speaking of your Falcon cosplay though, holy crap! How long has that taken you to put together? Because it's stunning. Like, it's top tier, my dude. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Thanks. It's taken quite a while. I kind of didn't do it in one go. It started off as a much more basic version on the sort of Captain America Winter Soldier film, where it's kind of more of a, I guess it's a bit more conventional, you could say. It kind of looks like a harness attached to it, and he's got sort of blue camo trousers, and it seems a bit more grounded in reality, whereas by the third film and onwards they went a bit more all out with it and let's just do a full-on superhero costume.
Oh, you got it.
So I started with that version and then developed it. It didn't even have wings the first time I wore it. It was just like the jetpack and the goggles and stuff. Still got an all right response considering, but I've just kind of improved it.
I mean, I was going to say, you don't really need the wings, because, I mean, when I've seen the photos of you suited up, and it's kind of like, once you suit up, when you walk in somewhere, people are going to know who you are, wings or not. Like, it's just going to be like, it's not like they're not going to know who you are. That's pretty awesome, if I'm honest with you. Are you attending any events this year? Because I know there's events happening this year. We've just started,
yes.
Myself and Ranger of Krieg have just started some events now.
Yes, I'm going to Telford in November.
Oh, the Telford Comic Con. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Is that the UK CGF?
I'm not sure.
The UK Comic and Gaming Festival.
It's known as, well, I think it's strictly speaking, it's called Wales Comic Con. It used to be at the university.
Oh, but then Wales Con. Yeah. The Wales Con that's not in Wales. Yeah. I know
that's right. Yes. Yeah, that one. I've been going to that one.
Thank you so much.
It's not far from me.
Wild Tracks Gaming with the Prime sub. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Is that the first one you're going to this year then?
Yes, it's probably going to be the only one I'm going to go to this year, I think, because there's Liverpool and Birmingham weekend before, but I don't think I can get a pass to go to 2 consecutive weekends. So I booked this one first, then found out about the others. So I thought, well, I've made a decision to do this one now. So I think
I have made my choice.
And then, but it's been kind of holding these things loosely, hasn't it? Because there were cons planned earlier in the year and they got cancelled or postponed. So
yeah,
I thought
I know.
I don't really want to go all out and book a load of cons and get them cancelled.
Yeah, I know. It was when it came through, when COVID had started, we had done a convention. We'd done our last con. Well, no, sorry. We had done like one of our first cons, and then but back then it was kind of, it was that level of, there's some shit going on in China. apparently there's this virus going around. It's like, really? And it's like, yeah. But then they were already doing sort of social distancing stuff in the UK at the time. But there was like, oh, there's like 1 or 2 people who've got it. There's like a few people have got it. Small percentage have got it. And then suddenly it was like, bang, full lockdown, no events, stay in your homes. The plague has arrived. And it was like, well, shit. And then just seeing all my events, like I think there was over 20 events I was going to do throughout the year, just getting cancelled one after the other. And it's just like, there we go. That's the end of that. And that kind of killed the year. But with events coming back on, I mean, from what I've been told, MCM London is still going to be happening, hopefully.
I believe so, yes.
Is that an event? Is that an event you attend at all?
No, the Film and Comic Con that I went to back in 2015 was the first and last time I've been to a London con, actually. I'll get down to them again at some point. I think it's just being where I am, I tend to choose the ones that are a bit closer, just because my cosplay is quite bulky combined with the distance. It's just a bit of it's quite a commitment all the way to London. So
I feel you. Like, I feel you. Like, when it comes to bulky cosplays, yeah, I feel you. It is.
Yeah.
It can
Birmingham's probably the furthest I go.
Birmingham's probably the furthest you'd go, is it? Because you're based in...
Yeah, I'll get back to London at some point. But...
Oh, good. I was going to say, you should totally come back to London at some point, because I know for a fact that I'm going to be at MCM this year if it still goes ahead. That's
great.
If it still goes ahead. Mainly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Mainly, one of the reasons I was asking if you're gonna be there is like, hey, we should meet up for a photo. We should have a photo. Like, be like, he's here.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it'd be really, really cool. But MCM has been doing its weird member-only pre-sales from London October. Yeah. Oh, have they been doing that again? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I've not been keeping much of a track of it. In terms of like if it's happening, because I don't know. I have this gut feeling that something's going to happen in the next month or so, and it's going to just... I don't know. Because I still don't get why they're doing the Olympics in Japan. There's, like, protests and stuff happening in Japan over it, saying, like, don't let them come here because, like, they could have COVID, that kind of thing. It's all that kind of crap that's happening right now with the Olympics and everything. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully nothing comes of it. Hopefully it's still, like, okay, and the event still goes on and we can still do stuff, because that's what I would like. I would hate to have another fucking mass lockdown. It'd be awful. But let's not talk about COVID. Is cosplay something you see yourself doing in 10 years' time?
Yes, very, very much so. Yes, I absolutely love doing it. It's I think if I didn't have a full-time job, I'd do a lot more of it, and family as well. So it's
yeah, because you are a family man, aren't you? You're a family man.
I am, yes.
Yeah. By any chance, please tell me, do the family cosplay as well, or are you gonna get them into cosplay?
No, they don't. My wife's actually the reason I'm into it, because she got me a ticket to that London Film and Comic Con back in 2000. When she was just my girlfriend, actually, and then I'm hooked since then. So whenever she gets fed up with me going to all these cons, I'm like, well, you planted the seeds.
I was gonna say, you literally have. If you kept the ticket, you could be like, it was your fault. You just hold up the ticket like, it was your fault. Oh, I love that.
But my son's only 3, so I'm hoping to get him into it at some point. But I don't know how we would take it at the moment if I was dragging him around a con hall with all of these.
If you don't do a Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I would be like a tiny Winter Soldier with his like robot arm. It's like, let's do this. It's like, let's go. That'd be so cool. That would be so cool to see. Holy crap, that would be great. But no, when I ask people if they see themselves like cosplaying in 10 years, usually I get yes. But it again, like you said, it all depends on. It all depends on, life, basically, and like full-time jobs and family.
It does. But in terms of my motivation and my drive, that's like an all-time high at the moment. I just can't wait to get into workshop and do stuff. And I very quickly lose track of the time when I'm up there and start getting a message from the missus saying, you're not coming to bed yet. It's getting late. So yeah, I love doing it. I like follow people on Instagram, so you can see people sort of, it ebbs and flows a little bit, their motivation for cosplay, and some take breaks every now and then.
100%.
Which is fine. At the moment, I absolutely love it.
Because obviously there's a lot of stuff on Instagram and YouTube and stuff where people will spend like 2 months making this cosplay, but they make the video like a 10-minute long video, and then people are like, oh, that looks super easy, and like I could do that, and then they get into it and then they realize how much work that has to go into it. And it's
if you watch any of
Ranger
Kamui
Creek just
Cosplay's
said,
videos are like that.
"Oh, Kamui Cosplay is amazing. Kamui Cosplay is fantastic. I love watching her
She
videos.
is.
Her videos are very like satisfying to watch. Like
They are.
especially the foam clay ones that she does. You know when she makes like the knuckles and then just squeezes them in and it just
Yeah,
turns it. That's so cool with the claws and stuff. Ranger of Krieg
she
just
does
said
make it look easy though.
Falcon and the Winter Nephew.
Uh,
I love that. I love that. That was great. That was great. Oh no, yeah, you're dead on the money. She makes it look like it's like, oh yeah, I'll just go and make this whole cosplay over the next couple of days. Like,
yeah.
it's like, nope, it's not that easy. Obviously, ignoring COVID rules and regs and stuff, and ignoring the fact that COVID is currently a thing. Do you prefer to work alone or with others when it comes to building your cosplays?
I very much do it alone. I sort of fire questions at other people who I know who've maybe done something similar, or I know a couple of people who do commissions and that type of thing, so they have a lot of experience. Or I post tips, on Instagram or whatever, and I might just say, hey, have you ever done this, or what do you do if you have this problem? But in terms of actually just going into the workshop and doing something, yeah, I very much do it on my own.
Oh, fair. Well, with all the cosplays that you have, do you have a particular favorite of yours? Because I mean, as we spoke beforehand, me and my moderators have already found one of yours that we really like. But out of the ones that you have, do you have any particular favorite?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's going to be my Falcon one. It's what most people know me for. It's had like an amazing response whenever I've worn it at cons. I like my other ones. Like I did sort of Bishop from the 90s X-Men cartoon.
Hell yeah.
I've actually the movie version as well from Days of Future Past, but it's much more of a niche character. So it's kind of, you don't get the same response, but then occasionally you'll bump into like the hardcore X-Men fan or who loves the cartoon or something. And they'll just like go mad over it. It's like
100%. Ranger of Krieg is sharing links to your Instagram right now with images and stuff, and he said, "I love this Lister cosplay," and that's the one we were talking about before stream, saying that's the one that me and my mods like the most. Is this this legend does Dave Lister from Red Dwarf, and it is the coolest thing. It is the single coolest thing. It is absolutely fantastic. It's really, really cool. You've got it down to a T. Like I was looking at all like the stuff you've got. It's like you couldn't not know that it's Dave Lister when you see you at a con. Like it's so cool. I really, really love it. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
But no, don't get me wrong though. Your Falcon cosplay is mind blowing. Like the details you've put into it. Looking at the images you've got on Instagram, you could clearly see the work that goes into everything that you've done, and it's pretty badass. Oh, your Bishop cosplay has also been posted as well, so people can have a look at that as well.
Thank you.
Because honestly, the work that you've put into like your cosplays is fantastic, and that's why I thought like when I saw your work, and I keep forgetting how I found you. And I'm still trying to remember how I came across your Instagram. But when I did see your Instagram, I was just kind of like, yeah, I might ask him for season 4. I really like his work. I'd love to talk to him. It'd be pretty cool. But what's been your most expensive cosplay to date? Like either things you've had to buy for it, or in general the whole thing. And it's like, it costs this much in total, and it's like that's my most expensive.
Again, it's probably the Falcon one, just because I've kind of added so much to it. So on top of what you can see in the photos, it's got cooling fans in the back.
You actually have got cooling fans in it?
Yeah, for me, because it's such quite a warm cosplay, because it's got full clothes on and then foam armor, and then a harness with wings as well. But yeah, it's got sort of like 2 CPU fans in the back as well, so I can switch that on and off if I get too hot. It's also got a machine in the jetpack as well, which I made for some from e-cigs vape sticks to make a smoke out of the jetpack as well. So by the time you sort of tot all of that up, yeah, that's probably my most expensive one.
You just see the bill just get longer.
Yeah, I try my best to plan them out before I start, but then it's like, oh, I need this as well. Well, I've started now, so I've got to get it.
Oh, absolutely. Or like when you get all the film and stuff ready, and then you look up research about other people who've done it, and you're like, oh, he's done this. That's going to be expensive. And it's like, damn it. And then it ends up costing twice as much, and it's just... Ugh.
Yeah.
But on the opposite end of the scale, then, what is the cheapest cosplay you've built so far?
It's probably the Luke Cage one I did. It was just did it for kind of like a quick and comfortable cosplay.
Oh yeah. For
So
like those smaller cons that you just want to go and chill out at.
yeah. I think it was Oswestry Comic Con I wore it to, which is a very small local one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically just a t-shirt and I made some sort of bullet holes in it and got a chain. Don't get me wrong, I bought like a big plastic chain, but gave it, a paint job so it looked better. And I made
yeah.
Pieces that he has and things like that. So, but yeah, that'll be the cheapest.
But it's like it's like it might be the cheapest, but you still put a lot of effort into it because even though like my steampunk, for example, the original one I did, that was just literally nice clothes. There was like so even though there was like barely any effort put into it, it was still a pretty decent cosplay, at least in my opinion, it was back then. But then it got better and better and more, and then I put more money into it, and then it got ridiculous, and then it was just. But then there's the Luke Cage cosplay as well for everyone who wants to have a look at that. That is absolutely fantastic as well. Or basically, my moderators are fantastic. They'll just run off and find pictures and grab links and come back and be like, "Look, this is it. Like this is what they're talking about." So people can go and have a look at them and stuff. It's great to see. If you had to pick like one of your most favorite event, the sort of event that you would go back to every single year or as many times as you could, which event would you say has been like your ultimate sort of your favorite?
Probably Birmingham, I think, is probably where I've had the best time. I've been two or three times now to Birmingham. I was a bit gutted because I'd booked to go, I think would it have been 19 when they started postponing things originally? It would have been
originally, yeah.
So towards back end of the year maybe.
So is that MCM Birmingham or is that there is no? Is there an MCM Birmingham? I don't know if there is. Which event in Birmingham?
Yeah, Birmingham's MCM.
Oh, Birmingham MCM. Is it MCM you're talking about then?
Yes.
Ah, cool. Because I wasn't sure if there was another one in Birmingham that I didn't know about or something.
No.
I just wanted to be sure so I knew. But no, do you prefer the bigger events then? Do you prefer like the much bigger events?
I like a mix, to be honest with you. I like going to the smaller local ones, but I like going to the big ones as well. The big ones are obviously you're going to see more cosplayers. There's a lot more going on. You'll get bigger groups going, so you'll get your friends from London or wherever that you wouldn't normally see going to the bigger ones. So it's nice to catch up with people from further afield. But then they're pretty manic at the same time.
Well, I was going to say, do you have like a group at all? Not like a specific like an actual like group with like a page and everything, but since you're Falcon, do you have a group of like Avengers that come with you? Like
No, I just meet up with other ones if anyone wants to do a shoot. Captain America or whatever might get in touch with me and just say, "Are you going to this con? Let's have a shoot and we'll sort something out." But I don't actually have a group though.
That is pretty awesome though, because I mean that's the way it happens. Is you'll go as your Falcon to an MCM, and then suddenly you're part of a huge group. It's just like, hey, there you go, that just happened. Like that's what I love. That's what I love about some of the bigger cons is where you just bump into like huge groups of people who are just like, hey, yeah, you need to join us. That would be really cool. It's just like I've been as a Ghostbuster to a London con. And I met up with so many other Ghostbusters. It was insane. It was literally a massive group of us just all going around, all in the same like khaki, the khaki jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Just loads of lights blinking and everyone walking around together. It was fantastic. It was so much fun. But no, I get that when you get like a photo shoot. Normally, when I go as my Space Marine somewhere, it's mostly photographers who will like message me like, "Do you want to shoot?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be great." But when I do go there. And when like Harry and myself, or like Nate and myself, my moderators, when we go to a con in our Space Marine or a Krieg or the Valhallan, and we see other 40k characters, and we didn't know that they would be there, and then suddenly like we come together, and it's like yay!
Yeah.
It's like wow. It was, and it's just like this needs to happen. Before the stream as well, I was asking you about like big cosplays. Would you ever consider going into sort of, again, like I said, not Space Marines, not like Warhammer in specific. I'm talking like in general, a cosplay that is, bigger than a normal human being, like taller than 7 feet tall, like wider than normal, that kind of thing.
I would be happy to do it. I think I would need sort of commitment from someone who's going to be like my chaperone, if you like.
Oh yeah, we call them spotters, but on this stream we call them
Spotters,
Harry.
yeah,
We
yeah.
call them Harrys because Ranger of Krieg is Harry, who's my best friend, and he comes around me to every event as my spotter. So and we have we have so many people we know who just come up and help us in and out of our suits and stuff. But if you could pick something, what would you go for? Something huge, if you could do, just wildest imagination.
I've always quite liked the villain Apocalypse, and I think if I was going to do, I want to make him as big as he is in the comics. So you talk, like a good 8, maybe even 9 foot tall.
That
so
would be mint.
On the works, but I'd like you say, I need a spotter to do something like that. I don't think
yeah.
I wouldn't
you would need like a group.
Apocalypse like my own height. I don't think that would be doing him justice. It's this massively imposing character.
Like I know there's a lot of people who do like Reinhardt or the Hulk or something, or a Hulkbuster like Iron Man suit, and they're just like they're like, oh, I want to do it, but I won't do him justice because I can't like do this, or I can't do that, and it's not big enough. That kind of thing. It's just like, yeah, I get what you mean. Trust me. It's just like getting bigger is great, but then having people come with you and then having to like make sure that they look after you, but then you look after them, and then having make sure you can get into the event, and it's a whole thing. It's great, but seriously, Apocalypse though, that is a hell of it. I didn't expect that. I was expecting something more of like a like a giant robot or something, like from I don't know, Gundam or Transformers or something like that. Something just insane.
I think
like
it just
that.
goes back to my love of X-Men, and he's probably my favorite villains from that program, and probably from most superhero lore. To be honest with you, I just think he's great. I love all of the quotes he comes out with in the cartoon.
He is pretty awesome. He is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I kid you
and I
not,
don't think I've not cosplayed a villain either yet, so it's on my to-do list.
Oh, so what you've just done you're just done the good guys?
Yeah, good guys / anti-heroes. Yeah.
I like that. I'm just. Is there anyone you haven't cosplayed yet that you would genuinely love to do? Like, as in non-giant, non over the top.
Yeah. I think I can't remember if I was talking about this before we started or not. But so there's Gordon Freeman from Half-Life that I really like to do.
Our brothers are picking
I'd also
up the
want to do like the comic version of Judge Dredd as well, because that's one of my earliest I started reading. So like with the massive eagle,
with the huge eagle poser and everything.
Yeah, I really love that version of it, so I'd like to do that at some point as well.
Oh, that's so cool. Also, thank you so much, Mr. Titan, for the host. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the host. So yeah, I mean, moving on to the next question though. What's your sort of favorite part of cosplay? Like when you get kitted up and you go to the con, what's your favorite part of like the entire day?
It's probably the responses you get from people, because it's just all of this, the anticipation and the build-up. You've been working hard on your cosplay. You get it all on in the hotel room or in the car park or whatever it is in the morning.
Car park, yes, that's my changing room. Yeah, car park. I like next to my van and just get.
Yeah, and it's just, and you start sort of, if there's a big queue or something, you might be walking to the back of the queue and you'll get a few, there's such and such, that's cool, and stuff like that. So that's really nice. And just when you get in and everyone wants to take photos of you and everything, it's just
it is great, right? Isn't it such like it gives you such a
response.
Great feeling, doesn't it? It makes you feel 10 feet tall. It's so cool. It is absolutely fantastic. But again, the opposite side of the coin. So you got to flip that. What's your least favorite part of cosplay?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love this question because I've got it marked down as like a two-parter, and it's just like you ask about your favorite, and then you get an answer like this is why, and then you ask them like, but what's the thing you don't like? They're like, oh damn, and then suddenly they'll grab a clipboard and be like, where do I start?
I mean, it depends. Depends how deep you want to go with it. I mean, I've got
it's how deep you want to go with it. Whatever you want. Like, I never pressure people into saying stuff they don't want. You tell me.
I mean, I've got my sort of least favorite tasks when it comes to cosplay building. But if you're talking about cosplay in general, thing that just bothers me is that one of the things that got me into cosplay is I thought it was an amazing community. It's very inclusive and complimentary and supportive. I just wasn't used to complete strangers coming up to you and giving you compliments about things. Just don't seem to get anywhere else.
It takes getting used to. It takes getting used to.
Yeah. But kind of on the flip side, a community is made up of people, and of course you're going to get some people who are you know not so great. And I think there's just this, there can be quite a lot of negativity, like the sort of shaming and gatekeeping and stuff like that we've got going on in the community. And that type of thing is a bit like, I don't really like to get on board with all of that. Or you get these very sort of cliquey groups, and you can't be part of them unless your cosplay is like 100% accurate to the film or whatever and stuff like that.
I'm not even kidding. We were just talking about that last stream with my mods. We did a mod stream, and we were just talking about it then, about how it can just be, the gatekeeping side of things can just be
it's like, oh, you can't cosplay this character, you're a woman and it's a male character, or you can't cosplay this character, he's white and you're black, or whatever. So these just general bad attitudes in the community. And fortunately, like majority of most of the people I know that I hang around with in the cosplay scene, they're all great. So I've not experienced a lot of this firsthand. I'm expecting to get a little bit of blowback when I eventually do my Gordon Freeman, but we'll see.
Honestly, genuinely, if you do get any blowback, just stare at them, because he doesn't speak, and just stare at them. Just
True.
Just stare. Hold the crowbar and just stare, and they'll be like, "Yeah, all right, Freeman, all right." And they'll just walk out. Or you could have someone come with you as a member of the science team.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen, there's a really funny YouTube video of a guy playing Half-Life, but they've modified it, and I think it's in VR, and there's a bunch of other people in there. But there's a guy who can do, there you go, Ranger of Krieg just typed in capitals, "Hello, Gordon," in the chat, because there's a guy who does the voice of one of the scientists, but he can do the voice from Half-Life, the first game. He can do the voice perfectly. He's not the voice actor, but you would be like, that's the voice actor, because it's that perfect. And he says really hilarious stuff, like every now and again he'll just say "Hello, Gordon" and pretend like he's glitching from the game and stuff like that. And so funny. But one of my favorite lines is like, "They took my wife in the divorce," and stuff like that. And it's so funny. I'll link it to you after so you can have a watch of it. It's so funny. "Look, Gordon, a rope. Help! We can use these to help me, Gordon." And he gets pulled up by the. It's so funny.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go and play it after this now.
Honestly, I will send you the link after stream. Actually, do you know what? Ranger of Krieg or Nate the Chivalhan, if you could send me the link in the stream chat, and I'll send it to Martyokcosplay after streams, like you can watch that. It's so funny. But honestly, find those people who support you and stick with them. That's what I've done with this community, with the Warhammer community and stuff. Don't get me wrong, any community is the same. You say that there's gatekeeping and stuff, it's the same in the Warhammer community. I'm not going to be one of these people who's like, I do Warhammer, I do the thing. It's a perfect community. It isn't. There is no such thing as a perfect community. But what you do is you go into that community and you find the people who aren't shit. And you sort of find out who the people who aren't, like, people who are like gatekeepers, or they'll point out your mistakes all the time in a horrible negative way and not in a supportive way. Like, this is not very well done. How about you do it like this? This is how I did it. And if they constructively help you, that's a different thing. Of course. But if they just come at you saying, "That's shit," it's like, that doesn't help anyone.
I know, that's incredibly frustrating for, I'm sure anyone creative knows that you put in some work, you put something out there, and all someone does is pick out the flaws rather than saying you've worked hard on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Being constructive, like you say.
And that's why I always like to ask the other side of the question, because it's good to know, people's opinions and people's, like, because you'd be surprised. We've had some shockers on here. We've had some genuine shockers on here, especially from the female cosplay side of things. We've had some really like shocking answers and stuff. And it's just kind of like, wow, that's happened to you. That's just, and when you've not heard it happens, it can really hit you hard, and it's like, holy crap. But then you just see how, like, they're like, it happened, I've gotten over it now, and it won't happen again, kind of thing. It's like, well, I hope it never happens again. And it can happen to everyone. Obviously not just the female community. Obviously it can happen to the male community too. But that's what you need to sort of look out for. And that's why when you have a supportive group, for example, like, for example, Ranger of Krieg, Nate the Chill Valhalla, everyone in the Adeptus Habitus chat, who are the Warhammer group that we're a part of, the one that we started ages ago, we're all supportive of each other, and it's awesome. That's what you really need in the cosplay community. So I'm glad you've met a bunch of people that support you and get you into photo shoots and stuff, because that's genuinely what you need. I do hope I can meet you at a convention at some point. If you ever see me walking around, you can't miss me. Just it'd be you'd be hard pressed to miss me at an event, even when I'm not in the suit. You'll just see it stood behind me, and it's just kind of like sup. And I'm usually wearing this, so it's kind of hard to miss me. What is cosplay to you? Like, when you started, obviously you got the ticket, you went to your first con, you caught the bug, you started cosplaying. But what does cosplay mean to you? Like, I've had so many answers to this question, and I tend to ask this one quite, not seriously, but I emphasize it. I'm like, what is cosplay to
you? For me, it's kind of, I think calling it an outlet would probably be the best way to describe it.
I like that.
I feel it's kind of, I don't mean to sound corny or anything, but I just feel I've got this urge to make stuff. I just really enjoy it. I think about it when I'm working, what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
And how I'm going to do things. I'm always doing research, always trying to teach myself new tips and techniques, and train myself to ways to make things, improve things and make it look better. But it's just a way to kind of satisfy the drive. I've just got to do it. Like I was saying earlier, my motivation's higher than it's ever been with this, so I can't see me dropping off doing it anytime soon. So that's what cosplay is to me. I think I probably enjoy the craft more than actually wearing it. Maybe.
Gee, I know a lot of people like that. I know a few cosplayers who I prefer building it to wearing it, but they enjoy wearing it. Don't get me wrong. They don't hate it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, guys.
They don't go to a con wearing what they've made. I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
But like,
as soon as I've finished something, I'm like, right, what's next? I don't. I'm not like, no, that's me done now. I've satisfied my urges for a while. I'm like, no, I need to keep.
I feel you there. So I know I said like we won't talk about COVID too much because obviously COVID is such a depressing subject. But hey, thank you so much, Extended, for their tier 1 subscription through August. No way! Holy crap! Thank you so much. Extended their Full Power Creations, sorry, extended their tier 1 subscription. I've never seen that come up where it says extended their tier 1 subscription. So I just read out extended thinking it was a username. But Full Power Creations has extended their tier 1 subscription through August. Thank you so much, dude. I really, really appreciate that. Honestly, thank you so much for supporting me and the channel. I really, really appreciate it. But like I was saying, I know like COVID is not the best thing to be talking about, but when COVID hit, did you find that when, obviously I don't know your line of work, but were you told to stop going to work? Did you have to stay at home? Were you one of those people?
So I'm basically a 9-to-5 office guy, pen pusher.
Oh right. So did your office close at all due to COVID?
Yeah, it did. So what I do, I'm a project manager for construction projects, but what I do, I can do sort of 95% of it remotely. I go and visit building sites when a project's at that stage, but before that, I can do a lot of it remotely. As long as I've got a computer and internet connection, do it all over Teams or Zoom.
So did you find then that your motivation went up during this like kind of shitty period in time, obviously when things were closing down and people were told to stay at home?
I think it would have gone up anyway. But I think
fair. That's an honest answer.
I've just tried to look on the bright side and embrace that I've got no cons, so I've got no kind of deadlines, if you like, no pressure. And I've just been taking the time to just carry on working on things. I've been doing commissions for like the last year and a half.
Oh, congratulations on the commissions, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, I just kind of putting the feelers out really to see if there was any interest. I actually got a lot more interest than I thought.
You'd be surprised. I mean, yeah, commissions are a big thing. I've just completed a commission myself with the Gundam shield and stuff, and I've got another commission on the way. You'd be surprised. You're welcome if you want to shout out to the community. You're welcome to tell everyone in the chat that you actually do commissions and how to contact you. Is it through your Instagram? Is it through messages?
It is, yeah. Unless people know me from other ways, but yeah, it's just through Instagram. I'm actually, I don't know how long I'm going to carry on doing it for. I'm struggling a bit with the time, to be honest, juggling it with family life and everything. But it was, it's just as soon as I started doing it, I was just surprised because I love the craft side of it so much. I thought everybody felt the same, but they actually don't. I remember seeing someone. A quick poll in their Instagram story. It was who likes to build their cosplay, who likes to buy it, and it was almost 50-50, which surprised me.
Is that really?
I mean, that was just a quick poll on someone's Instagram. It's not like an official census.
No. I know that, but it's still like that's still. I expect. I even on somebody else's Instagram, I still expected it to be, more. I'd say I expected it to be more. I prefer to build it than I prefer to.
Yeah, I expected that as well, just because I love it so much. But obviously, not everyone's the same. Some people love the wearing it more than building it, which is great. It's great for commissioners anyway.
Hey, yeah, trust me, it's great. It's not a problem at all. But I tell you the worst part about when you build a Space Marine though is people ask you if you'll build a Space Marine for them, but it's the amount of the time where. So you think about the time, but then you've got to think about you have to pay yourself a wage, but then you've got to put the materials into it as well, and then you've got to put other bits and bobs into it, and when you add all that up, it becomes such a ridiculous price that I've just now started telling people it's a ridiculous price. I don't say I just literally I'll just close my eyes and slam my hand on the keypad and then send like it's this much.
Yeah.
Because there's no point to even if you think about it in a business kind of way where you want to make some money from it and you want to make a good amount of money from it. You are going to have to charge more. And that's where it's sort of difficult. But I've seen people online who make full Space Marine cosplays and, they ship them as they are, and that's fine. But when you look at them, there's a lot missing, like, detail-wise or internally or structurally or that kind of thing. And, that's why they're so cheap. But it's good that people can buy them. If they can buy them built, painted, and ready to go, then they can add bits and bobs to it or whatever. That's great.
Yeah.
But personally, if I was to build somebody an Iron Warrior or a Space Marine like my Iron Warrior, it would cost stupid money. It would cost stupid money. But like people said, if you tell someone one day it's this much stupid money and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll pay that, then you've made X amount of money. Then it's like, oh, okay. It's like, I guess you're a lottery winner. We have a question here, believe it or not, from Nate the Chill Valhallan, who is one of my moderators. Did you come close? Did you come close to getting creative burnout asking for a friend? And I think he's asking that because of me. So did you burn yourself out creatively during lockdown?
No, I didn't actually. No, like I was saying earlier, I've got a laundry list of projects as well as some commissions that I've been working on over the lockdown as well, and I've just been very busy, really. It's been one thing after the other. Sometimes I take a short break, but when I say a break, I mean a few days or something like that.
Like just a few little days.
I took a bit of a break when my daughter was born earlier this year for kind of a few months, but I kind of felt the drive to get back into it. Should have. So I only slept for 4 hours last night, but I feel like working on my stuff.
Honestly, sometimes when I've started a project and things are going ridiculously well, that's when you kind of want to get on it. Turns out he was saying he was asking for himself as well, because what happened is during lockdown, I built myself a full-size Space Marine chainsword, a full-size power hammer, this chain axe, and modified my suit a little bit, and I did it all within 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a lot.
And burnt myself out, and it's just completely. That was me done and dusted. I believe, if I'm right in saying, Nate the Chill Valhallan did the same. He did a bunch of stuff and ended up burning himself out. So it's kind of like, fuck. We need more self-control like you. We need more self-control like you. To
be honest with you, it's probably because I can only sort of do it in sort of few hour stints at a time. Just because it's like coming on this call tonight with you. It's sort of starting a bit later just because I kind of got to get the kids to bed before I start doing.
Honestly, and it's not a problem. It is not a problem. It is never.
No, I appreciate that, but it means that I can't just come home from work and then go straight into the workshop and do that all night. I have other commitments I've got to do first. So at most, I'll only ever do a few hours in one day. So it's probably not the same as, I don't know what you were doing when you were making all of that stuff that you must have been putting in the hours.
Well, at the time, it was, there was no more work because of COVID. And then I was home all the time. And I thought, well, I've been meaning to build these for a while. So I just came down here every single day to the workshop. And just like, so when you say workshop, do you have a nice big workshop, or do you have like a shed or a garage?
I would love to have a nice big workshop. It's just in the spare room in our house.
Still, it's the workshop. If that's your workshop, that's your workshop. I mean, there's some people in chat who their bed is their workshop. So it's, it's each to their own,
Yeah.
But yeah, they're telling me we did warn you. Yeah, I know you warned me. I wanted a power hammer and I wanted a chainsaw. But then what's really funny, I built the chainsaw. This little handheld, like kiddie sized chain axe came from the spare parts and spare foam I had from the sword build. So I just put it together, a little chain axe for shits and giggles. But you know. But since you've been cosplaying now, you said, well, quite some time since, well, your first London Film and Comic Con, obviously. What would your advice be to somebody who's just starting off?
I'm very much an advocate of making cosplays of characters you like. You don't have to do it this way. I know a lot of people will kind of post on Instagram, oh, who do I look like? And I'll make a cosplay or stuff like, what should I cosplay next?
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's fine doing it that way, but I just find my motivation comes from my love for the actual character. The characters I do and plan to do, some of them are very niche, and a lot of, probably won't get a whole load of recognition at cons, but it's not really the purpose. It's more like I'm just expressing my love for the character. So I think if you want to keep your drive up, that's what I would suggest.
I like that.
Yeah, and then I think don't be afraid to challenge yourself as well. Like, you don't just start building something. Like, I'm sure you didn't just decide you were going to do a Space Marine one day and it turned out perfect first go.
Oh,
so you'll learn a lot. You'll go back to the drawing board a lot. You'll pull a lot of hair out. There'll be blood, sweat, and tears. But honestly, just don't be afraid of challenging yourself. You'll be surprised what you can teach yourself. It's quite a steep learning curve as well, but there's lots of resources out there, lots on YouTube. If you know anyone who already does it, I would just fire questions at them as well and get their feedback. Ask me any questions.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, obviously your Instagram inbox is open, I guess, for anyone who wants to message you. You say blood, sweat, and tears. You forgot anger and like swearing and just yelling and throwing tools and just because, good God, I tell you, oh God, the things I've done with this Space Marine that I never want to do again, and it's just like, it's like, hey, do you remember that thing you did to the Iron Warrior one time? Like, yeah, I remember replacing that. Never replacing that again. That is never again. But no, I love that though. But you were saying just now, like, if it's a character no one really knows and you don't really get much recognition, and that's fine. But when you do find that one person who just, like, their mind goes, and they scream and they shout and they start running after you and like, there, you're this guy, and then you're just like, yep, I'm this character, and then they just go nuts over you and get a photo with you and stuff. I've seen it happen. Like, I've been stood in my Iron Warrior with my helmet off, just chatting to people and whatever, and I'll see a cosplayer like walk by and I'm like, isn't that from Summit? I'm not sure what that's from, that kind of thing. And then someone will recognize them from like sat down by a door or something, and they'll run over and they'll fanboy. It's great. And it's great to see when somebody's like genuinely into the cosplay that they're into, and it is fantastic. It's really, really awesome. With that though, what is your funniest cosplay story? Like, what is the one cosplay story that just makes you cry with laughter every time you remember it?
Good question.
Because there's don't get me wrong, there's so many.
I don't know if funny is the right term. It was funny for fellow cosplayers that I was with at the time. It was less funny for me. A friend of mine, he won't mind me dropping his name. He goes by You're So Vain Cosplay on Instagram. He does a lot of charity work, like cosplay charity work.
You're so vain. Is it You're So Vain?
You're So Bane.
Oh, You're So Bane, as in Bane from Batman. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he does a lot of charity work, and he was doing this hospital visit one time. I think it was just before Christmas, and so he invited me along to that. He was dressed as Thor, if I recall, and I was dressed as Falcon. And
legendary.
I thought, well, I think at this point, like, Infinity War or Endgame hadn't come out or anything like that, so I think it was just Captain America 2, maybe Civil War. So it wasn't massively well known to the sort of the general, casual, superhero film viewer. So I was walking around this hospital dressed as Falcon. No one recognized me. And the other lady involved in setting up this charity event remembered all the other characters' names except mine, so she kept calling me Birdman, much to the amusement of all of the other cosplayers that I. So they've never let that go. So they always call me Birdman now.
Well, I tell you this, right? You've had Birdman, right? I've had Big Robot. Go see the Big Robot Man. Go over see the Big Robot Man. I'm like, oh, just come on. And it became a running joke in the chat for a while. Like, go see the Big Robot Man. Look at Big Robot. I'm like, stop. But there is a link in chat from Ranger of Krieg. Is it _cosplay? Is that his name on Instagram?
Just check.
Ranger of Krieg is basically just posting it in chat so that people can have a look at the cosplay. And hey, Chris,
yes,
greetings,
that's correct.
Greetings.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, there you go. That is correct. That Instagram link is indeed correct. Birdman and the cold fighty boy. pretty much. In the cosplay community, is there a cosplayer? It doesn't have to be someone online that you don't know from the US or like, you know, a celebrity. It could be a friend, like a close friend of yours who also cosplays or something. But who is your favorite cosplayer that you know? Or you don't have to know them. You could just know them online or something. You know, that I mean, everyone knows mine. Mine is like my celebrity one is Adam Savage. You know, I love Adam Savage. I think he's amazing. But you know, if you had to pick one, because you mentioned Kamui earlier, as you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching. You know, I watch cosplay tutorials and videos on YouTube all the time. It's what I love to do, just to general interest in what other people are doing and learning, teaching myself as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've had her name mentioned before, but she's probably up there just because she is so ridiculously talented. The stuff she can produce, it's like it's hard to believe that came from a flat sheet of foam. These type of things she can do, and she seems to have sort of, she'll be like, oh, I'm not very good at electronics, but then does this, like, produces this amazing, you know,
yeah, with
complicated programming. Like I've dabbled in it myself, sort of like, you know, the Arduino circuitry and that type of thing to program electronics. So it's a bit tricky, and I think it's to be good at all of those things. It's just very impressive how she can do that.
100%. I also like her partner Benny, who's such a talented painter.
Yeah,
like he can paint stuff up like ridiculously well. It's so good, so good. But so you would say Kamui Cosplay then is someone you sort of admire, then, if you will.
She's definitely up there, but I've got there's a lot of people that have inspired me. Some, you know, that I've never met, that I just follow on Instagram because they're in different parts of the world, or others that I know more closely. I've got a friend called he's called Nightly Creations. I'll just check the
Nightly Creations. Hey, if you want, send it to me on Instagram. If you want to send me the message, send me the link there, and I'll send it to my mom to make a post in the chat.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I always follow what he does, because he does commission work, but he's very talented, very skilled, but he's also very fast, like ridiculously fast. How he does stuff out. So like a teaser trailer will drop at 2 a.m. or something because it's been released in the States. And then within 24 hours, he's got a cosplay of one of the characters in it. Done. It's like,
there are people like that who are just insanely talented, and I love that. I think that's so cool. It's so cool. With props and stuff like that, we've spoken about your cheapest cosplay and your most expensive cosplay. But what is the most expensive prop you've ever made? Sort of like, you know, just a singular item, like a singular prop. What is the most expensive prop you've ever made?
It's possibly the I did as a commission, I did a gun for, it was the character Cable from X-Men, and I think it's from the Ultimate Alliance game. I think it was that version of him. And so, well, he's always got a big gun, but he's got this big gun with it's kind of got a sort of pulsing light at the front. So as well as several other ones. So I made that as a commission for a friend who does Cable's one of his favorite cosplays. I think he does Cable and Hulk.
Is that then out of foam, or is that like 3D printed?
It's foam with it's got an aluminium frame in it just to make it a bit more robust.
Oh yeah. You got to make it rigid. You got to make it rigid.
Uses an Arduino circuit in it to program the LEDs to do what I wanted them to do, because I wanted to kind of red that goes to orange to yellow and then like pulses along the front of the gun.
Oh, that sounds
It's
nice.
on my Instagram as well. It's probably a little while back, but you'll see it on there.
Oh, trust me, Ranger of Krieg is pretty good on the old research there. He can find it. We do have a question here from Mr. Titan 40K. Question: what is the oddest thing to happen to you at a Comic-Con?
Oddest thing.
Like I've had someone literally walk past the front of my suit and just think that it's like a standee or something, and they've walked past it, and I've just not looked at them and gone like tried to scare them, but I've literally just like I've shrugged or I've moved or I've just moved my weapon, and they just shit themselves. Just, Jesus Christ! It's just like I'm so sorry, like that kind of thing.
I can't think of anything that terribly odd, to be honest with you, happening. Struggling to think of something.
Have you ever had a run-in with like a screaming fangirl?
I wouldn't say screaming. One of my friends that I kind of is part of the reason I sort of then became, part of other groups going to photo shoots and things like that. Her name is Martyokcosplay. I'll send you the link as well. But I met her at Liverpool Con when I debuted Falcon, and this was before I even had the wings or anything. So it was a very basic looking cosplay compared to what it looks like now. But she was still like, "Oh, the Falcon, that's amazing." She's like, "I do Black Widow, and I know a guy who does Thor, and we're Wales Con in a if you want to come, we're going to do like a Marvel group photo shoot and stuff." So from there, I've known her ever since.
You see, that's the cosplay equivalent to, oh my god, you do Falcon, I do like Winter Soldier, you do Thor, let's start a band. Kind of, that's the cosplay equivalent to, let's start a band. Like, I love it. I think it's so cool.
But she was quite restrained despite fangirling over it. I think one time there was a group of us, and there were a group of people who were just obviously very excited to be there, may or may not have had a couple of drinks while they were at the con, and just ran up to us and then quite boisterous, grabbing us and everything. It's like, whoa, it's only made of foam.
I love it. Yeah, it's like, it's only EVA foam, chill.
Yeah.
I don't have to glue this shit back together when I get home. Like, holy crap, like the last thing I want to do is have to repair this when I get home. Like, stop. But
yeah.
In total, how many events have you done?
I'd say before COVID hit, I was
this is pre-COVID. Yeah, pre-COVID, 100% pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID, I'd probably do maybe half a dozen cons a year and a couple of separate photo shoots, something like that.
That's fair. What did you you go to a place just to do a photo shoot? Because I haven't done one of those yet. I always have photo shoots. I always have photo shoots done at cons. I've never had them really.
If you get the opportunity to, honestly, I would take the photographer up on it, because I mean, there's getting photos at cons is great and everything, but you're kind of limited with the background. So unless it's going to be used for an edit later, you kind of just end up being stuck behind some, a roller shutter door or something like that, or a grey wall or something. And
luckily that's what we did at the last con, was like a grey shutter door, because the legend that is shooting cosplayers, Richard Burge, he can get rid of that and then just do everything to it. He's such a talented photographer. It's ridiculous.
So so it's cool if you're getting edits like that, but if you actually want something, you want to keep the background.
I got you.
Relates to your character, then if you know a photographer that's up for or has already scouted out some kind of locations or something, then definitely take the opportunity.
Especially if you're someone like me who can't get photos at cons. Oh, Pinkthorn, I didn't know. Like, you should talk to Richard Burge. If you ever see Richard Burge shooting cosplayers, he's a legend. He'll take your photo. He's absolutely awesome. We have had a hydrate, Marty. We have had a hydrate. Let's have a little drinky poo. All right, do you know what? Let's try this one. Hold on. I just played a sound clip of the Minecraft drinking noise because I've got a Stream Deck now that I can play random sounds that I've put on it, and I wonder if that worked or if that was too loud. I'm gonna wait for a message to come through now, just being like, "Holy crap, that was too loud" or something like that. But thank you so much, Zug, for the hydrate there. You absolute legend. Thank you so much. Zug is in chat, by the way. For those of you who weren't here the other night, Zug is now a new moderator in chat. He's an absolute legend. Hello, Casual Props. How are you doing? You can't redeem second and third. You can have one. But yes, thank you so much to everyone for coming. There's so many people in chat right now. It's absolutely awesome. Out of all the cosplays that you've done, then what's your most uncomfortable in terms of wearability? When you're like, oh, when you get home and you take it off and you're like, you've got bruises here and there and everywhere. Unless you don't have a cosplay like that, which is fair enough.
Strangely, it's probably the last time I did the Bishop one. Like the wig is really uncomfortable. It's my first time making a wig, and so I bought a the wig cap and loads of dreadlocks and in myself, and I've probably put in a lot more than I should do, being a bit of an amateur at wig making. But I didn't want loads of gaps in it, so you could see through that. You could tell that it was not real hair, so I made sure to cover it. But it's actually quite heavy now, and it digs into my forehead. So I had all these kind of like bruises on my forehead when I took it off. They went after a couple of days, but it was pretty uncomfortable. The Falcon one is actually not too bad because underneath it is like a sort of military harness, so it attaches around your waist and over the shoulders across the chest. And it's a lot lighter than it looks as well. The whole thing probably weighs less than 10 kilos, I reckon. So I've worn it all day.
Oh, that's fair then. So you could because it's spread all over your shoulders and your body and everything.
Yeah, it's spread out nicely.
Fatigue is a lot. It's okay. Fatigue is a lot less. Which is fair. Don't get me wrong.
It's more that you're on your feet all day. That's all. You can't really sit down in it. That's the only issue.
I was going to say, can you not?
Not really. No, you could maybe sit. When you spin the chair around to the backs and the
front.
I got you. One or something like trying to be cool. You could probably do it that way, but not traditionally. No.
I'm not gonna lie. If I get a bar stool with no back to it, I can sit down in the big guy. I've reinforced his backside so I can actually sit down.
Actually, that's just reminded me. You asked me about awkward moments earlier. The Falcon one. If I have to go to the gents' toilets because the wings are quite wide, even when they're down, I kind of take up the urinal either side of me as well. So I went to one con and there were only 3, so I used the middle one, and there's like big queue guys behind me, and just like, sorry, gents.
If I'm not gonna lie, if I was there, I would have been like, "This is a really hilarious photo. Can I take this and send it to you? Because this is too funny. Just like the one you're right in the middle, the other 2 being blocked by wings. Hey, if it's like I don't want guys standing next to me, just open the wings. Right? I'm just gonna pee here, then close them, and then leave. I love that. That is fantastic. Reinforced ass plate. Yes, Zug, indeed. I have a reinforced ass plate. That's how I can sit down in the big guy. It's literally the only way. It's literally like another 2 layers of 10mm foam, like angled properly and then glued together and put in just to give it that strength. He is fun to wear. Don't get me wrong. He is fun to wear. But how is... When you come to building your cosplay stuff, you do, like, for example, we'll talk about your Falcon, since pretty much that's your main one. Everyone has like a main cosplay. Let's say Falcon's your sort of main one. How important is accuracy to you when it comes to making the cosplay? Are you looking at posters? Are you looking at stills from the movie? Are you trying to find every single bit and bob and like every sort of nut, bolt, and rivet and stuff like that? Are you trying to find things like that so you can put together?
Yeah, when I'm first making a cosplay, I'll sort of grab together as much reference material as I possibly can. So I'll look at, like you say, posters, promos, sort of stills, behind the scenes. Sometimes it's the classic trying to find a picture of the back of a cosplay. You can always find posters, they're always at the front of the character, but when you want a decent picture of the back, it's like, where is it? It's always like some blurry shot or something. Like trying to get a decent image of Falcon's jetpack is not that straightforward. So it's just stuff like that. So I'll get as much reference material as I can together. In terms of accuracy, I will try and be accurate, but I won't beat myself up if a little bit's off. I think it gets to a point where you're doing it for you, and you think people are going to notice these little details, but they probably won't. They'll probably be looking at the bigger picture that you're in this Falcon cosplay with wings and goggles and all of that, and they might not notice that this one particular groove in the foam is here when it should be a tiny bit lower down or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean,
Right. By the way, if you bear with me 1 minute, I just have to. We'll go to be right back. So I'll be back with you in a second. Okay. Okay, hello everyone. We're back. Really funny story. I forgot to lock the workshop door that I normally lock when I'm streaming, and our next door neighbor came in and he wanted to buy potatoes because my dad sells potatoes by the side of the road and I sell eggs by the side of the road. And he came in. He was like, "Oh, hey!" He had no idea what was going on. He's never seen this. He doesn't know what I do. So I have an earpiece in that's connected to the speakers. So he heard me talking to you a little bit. You started to answering the question, so I was just nodding and like listening to you answer the question. He was just stood there, complete silence. We went outside, and he was like, "What was that?" And I was just like, "Oh, I'm live right now." He was like, and he started panicking. He was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "I do things online and all that." And he was just like, "What?" I was just like, like, I'm live doing stuff and you just walked in midstream. That's why I had to go to be right back. So I do apologize to my mods who kind of messaged me here, kind of worrying, being like, "What's up?" and stuff like that. So I do apologize. Sorry for interrupting you there. Where were we? Accuracy. Right.
yes.
And you said, and the last bit, I remember you saying, like, if a line is in the wrong place or something. Have you ever had an anorak like that come up to you and be like, "Oh, that's not meant to be there. That's meant to be 3 degrees left to the right," just that kind of thing?
I think I've had it once or twice, but you kind of just comes with the territory, I guess. You kind of just take that with a pinch of salt.
Oh yeah, trust me, especially in the Warhammer community. Yeah, take it with a pinch of salt, or just hit them with your power fist. Like,
I think, especially when it's kind of one time the person criticized something that I thought was accurate, but I was like, well, I could get my phone out and show you the photo that I've based this from, but it's like I can't be bothered getting drawn into that. So it's just like whatever.
Honestly, if you ever see a cosplayer as another Falcon, and just go up in your Falcon and then just shower them with positivity and support. That's all. That's all the cosplay community should be, is support and positivity.
I love seeing other Falcons, all different versions. I'm looking forward to seeing the Captain America ones as well when the cons start back up.
Honestly, when the cons start back up, I am gonna actually make sure you like, if you're ever in a few events or anything around like England or even in Wales, if you ever do come this far, let me know. I would love to meet up with you at a con at some point. It'd be really cool to be like, "Look, it's the Falcon that I had on my stream." I think that'd be really, really cool. I think it'd be awesome to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So apologies for that. That was my next door neighbor coming to buy some potatoes. So I do apologize for
problem.
that. He had no idea what was going on. It's completely alien to him. So it was really, really funny. Just explaining it to him out there, being like, "Yeah, I've got somebody live right now. I'm doing a live interview," and he was like on the telly, and I'm like on the telly, like. So that was fantastic. If I had to ask you then, group cosplay or solo, which one do you prefer? What is your sort of preferred? Do you prefer to go around a big group of like, Avengers, or do you prefer to sort of cosplay by yourself as like Falcon, solo Falcon?
I quite like the social aspect of it. I think I quite like being part of the group. I don't think I've ever gone to a con where I sort of haven't known that anyone I know has been there before, with a view of just walking around on my own. I've always it's always planned with a few people that I know are going to be there. And I just think characters like Falcon go great, with like if you've got a Cap with you or something like that. It's just makes for a great photo. You can have Cap kneeling down with a shield in the front and Falcon 100% behind or something like that.
Oh.
So I just think the group photos do look great. So yeah, I do like going as a group.
That would be great. Oh, that one, you've just got me thinking about that one now, of like Cat with his shield and then the holy crap, that'd be so cool. Oh, that would be so cool. Damn, that's such a cool thing in my head now. That is absolutely awesome. With cosplay, and obviously you've got your Instagram, and you only have Instagram. You don't have like Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. You only have your Instagram. Where did you get your cosplay name from? You have Martyokcosplay, but I can assure you, your cosplays aren't okay. They're amazing. So, like, shouldn't you be like amazing Marty cosplay or something like, or the amazing Marty cosplay? Because okay, this just doesn't do you justice. It just doesn't.
I mean, I used to be on Facebook, and then when I started getting to cons, people kept asking me if I was on Instagram, and I said no, not really. And they said, "Oh, you should get on it." So I joined it, and I kind of liked the idea that it was more based on around a visual medium rather than people just writing long status updates and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it kind of lent itself more to people, creative people putting their works out there, and you can follow people of similar interests. And so the type of stuff that pops up in your feed is the stuff you're into, rather than just everything, everyone downloading everything, people you haven't seen in 10 years telling you about what they had for tea and that type of stuff. So I was like, yeah, I quite like this platform actually, but sort of very unimaginatively, I just called it my first name, surname, Martin Ocarrier. That was my first Instagram handle.
I like that.
After a while, I wanted it to be a bit more impersonal, because I kind of treat it like a business account. So you'll notice,
because you do commissions on there too, don't you? Obviously, so you kind of
I do. But it's the purpose of my Instagram is not really to put my whole sort of personal life online. I don't really feel the need to do that, hence coming off Facebook. I just got a bit bored.
Fair. I know a lot of people who've done the same.
Yeah, and so I kind of it's a little less personal. I don't rarely put family stuff on there. It's almost 99% of it about cosplay. Occasionally something about the gym or films, but the vast majority of it is cosplay related. That's the reason I got onto it, and I just thought, well, I'll change the name slightly, but to be honest with you, I haven't got the best imagination when it comes to this type of thing. So it's just the first two. It's the start of my surname. That's what the OK is. It was nickname in secondary school. OK,
I got you now. Well, if you ever do change it again, I think the amazing Martyokcosplay would be one you should do. Genuinely, your cosplay stuff is absolutely fantastic. But
thank you very much.
Has doing cosplay and going to events and meeting groups of people and sort of, gaining a community, because you have quite a decent community on Instagram now, has that helped you with anything like, like social anxiety or like anxiety in general, or has it helped you with anything like that? Obviously, to get a little bit deeper, but has it helped you with anything like that, or is it just...
I mean, maybe not so much anxiety. I mean, I mentioned earlier that I'm sort of, a bit of an introverted person, although I don't really have issues with being in big crowds or anything like that. I'm fine with that. But it's just been really nice to be part of the, this inclusive group of people that I am part of now. And it's just whenever I'm, posting progress pics or whatever, or a nice edit or something like that, just all the reactions I get from everyone. Everyone's so supportive. So it's kind of, it just helps build you up from that point of view. I've kind of struggled a lot with self-confidence, I think, growing up. Never thought too highly about my abilities, but it's just the response I get from people on this type of thing is really great. So from that point of view, it's been amazing.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you really should, because like you should get a lot of the support, because you deserve it. Because seeing your work in general, seeing like going like the beginning of your Instagram and sort of coming up, you just see progress. It's just always progress and that's what you want to see. And coming from someone who I don't see it in person, because obviously you don't see it yourself, but some people do, don't get me wrong, but I can see other people's progress and can see how much better they get and how much like cleaner their work gets, stuff like that. But then occasionally someone will point something out to me being like, oh, that's cleaner, this, that, and the other. But I recently built a pair of Space Marine shoulders for a friend of mine called Sam, Chapter Master Valrak on YouTube. I built a set of Space Marine shoulders for his wall display. And looking at the ones I built him and looking at the ones I built for my Iron Warrior years ago, it's like, it's night and day. It's like, they're terrible. They're very janky. Like they are, there's a lot of, they need redoing kind of thing, to they're really clean. I've come a long way. And that is when it hit me, seeing that blatant difference. That hit me like a sack of shit. I was like, holy crap. Okay. So I feel like I've become better as well. But seeing your work is, especially seeing your Falcon as well. Your Falcon, I just can't get over. I think it's really, really awesome. But the instant I saw your Dave Lister cosplay, though, I was just like, fuck yeah! It's just like literally the coolest thing. I love it.
The War Master has given us a mighty prize.
Hey,
indeed.
Zug has
for the greater good.
Zug has just donated to my PC stream upgrade. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Zug. And he just said, for the greater good. Good God. Which is, it's a thing in Warhammer 40k. I'm not going to explain it because it's filthy. Tau are awful. They're such a bad army. But genuinely, Can I ask you one last question? And that is, Marty, where can we find you on the World Wide Web, my friend?
Well, yeah, it's just on Instagram really at the moment, until I get to the point where I'm looking at setting up a web page or something, which I may do at some point, or may go back to Facebook just for the purpose of setting up a page. But for the time being, it's just on Instagram, so it's just at Martyokcosplay.
Martyokcosplay, and there it is in the chat as well. Chris has redeemed a hydrate, but I am all out. But Marty, you are welcome to down the rest of your water, my friend. Genuinely, can I say thank you so much for coming onto my stream? I really, really appreciate it. I saw your work, and I was just like, I would love to talk to him about how he started off and how he became the cosplayer that he is today. And I genuinely am really happy I got you on. I really, really appreciate it. For anyone wondering where you can find him, his link is there in the chat, and also we are about to do a raid as well. But seriously, though, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. I hope I can meet you at a convention one day, because obviously you're one of the UK boys. So instead of me chatting to people from all around the world, it could literally be we could meet up at a con one day. That'd be really awesome. So, but yeah, genuinely, thank you so much for coming. We are going to go raid now, and since no one has redeemed Guide the Raid, we can pick somebody to raid. Let's have a look. Do you know what? Let's go and raid Artemis Blackfire. We haven't raided her in a while. She's a very good friend of mine. We haven't raided Artemis Blackfire, so let's go give her a raid. Let me move my stream deck over. Out of the way. There we go. /raid channel, and then I have to pick the channel with the longest name. ISFYR. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for coming. Thank you so much to Martyokcosplay for being such a wonderful guest. I really, really appreciate it. We shall see you all again on the next stream, but I have a bit of a surprise. I wanted to save it right until the very end here, before we do the raid. Tomorrow is Friday, and as I said, I do want to try and stream every Friday and do a solo stream, but obviously with the PC issues and stuff I've been having, I've not been able to. But tomorrow is a special one-off Friday cosplay Q&A with Tux himself, Tux the White Tiger, the man himself, the one who has set me up originally to stream. He's the one who gave me all my PC parts and stuff originally. He was just like, I have spare computer parts, here you go, put them all together, and built me my first streaming PC. And for a while now, I've been telling him, I want to get you on and talk about your cosplay journey, because he has only just started. He is super new to it. He's so new to it. So it's really, really cool. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Friday, that is going to be another Iron Warrior Cosplay Q&A. It's going to be a one-off Friday cosplay Q&A with Tux the White Tiger, which I'll be posting after this stream once we are all done and dusted here. So thank you to everyone for coming along, and thank you again to Martyokcosplay. We are going to go read Artemis Blackfire.
Thank you.
So we shall see you all again soon. Bye for now.